Erlene, I'm here. Are you ready for an amazing breakfast?
I am. I'm glad you found the place.
Yeah, it was easy. What a beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm excited to make this great Moroccan poached egg dish that's going to go over some grilled bread. That's so good.
Oh,
I think you'll love it.
Sounds fantastic. Go ahead and come aboard.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me. I haven't been in a sailboat galley since, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So this is fun to be back. We're going to start with, we'll heat up the pan, but I noticed in your sailboat you have these really great pans that don't have, or the handles come off.
Actually, they were given to me, and they work great on the stove because then you can have more room, put more pans on there, and you don't have to worry about the handles until you're ready to take it off.
Oh, and also for storage.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to store them. So I got rid of all my other pans so I could use these.
So this is a great Cuisinart pan. So I've just cut up some onions and a couple different kinds of peppers, a poblano, an Anaheim, and a yellow pepper. You could use red pepper.
Okay.
Kind of up to you, whatever you have on hand. And then there's a little bit of garlic in there too. So we're just gonna start sauteing that in the olive oil. So that's just gonna go for a little while. And I'm gonna add some salt and some pepper. And today we're gonna use fresh tomatoes, but if tomatoes aren't in season, which they aren't most of the year, canned diced tomatoes are perfect.
Okay.
This is flavor inspired from Tunisia. It's harissa, which is usually like a paste that would be a condiment to like a tagine or something in North African cooking. So this has paprika, cumin, a little bit of mint, garlic, some chilies, so it's got a little bit of heat. So that will just simmer for a little while, and then we will put the eggs in and poach it. So now we're gonna make some toast, and I like to make it in, I love cast iron, I love cooking in it. And we'll just kind of grill it in there with olive oil, so it'll have a really nice golden brown, and then we'll put the sauce on top with the egg. It's gonna be so good. So I'm just gonna cut kind of thick slices. And this really nice artisan bread is great for this kind of food, and holds up to it, and it's got really nice texture, and it grills really well too. It's really fried bread. And then we'll just let that go for a couple minutes and get nice and golden brown, and then we'll flip it over. So Erlene, I was wondering, does this boat have a name?
Yeah, it's called Alcyon. It was already named that when I bought it, and I did some research on the internet and found out that Alcyon is a Greek goddess, and there's a thing called the Halcyon days, and that's 2 weeks in the year where there isn't supposed to be any storms at sea at all.
So calm seas.
Calm seas, and she is the reason for that.
Oh, that's a great
So
story.
I kept it.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah.
So our toast is coming along. It's a little uneven, but I like to call that rustic. So our sauce is nice and reduced, and it's just simmering away here. When I'm cooking, I like to taste things, make sure they're seasoned to my liking. That's really good. It's got a little bit of a kick on the end, but it's really sweet, and you can taste that butter and the olive oil. And then that way you can tell if there's enough salt or seasoning in it before you serve it.
So good.
Oh, good. So we're gonna use these pasture-raised eggs, and it's pasture-raised. It's a good to eat pasture-raised eggs because they have a lot more omega-3s,
Oh, okay.
which are good for your brain and heart. And then we'll just turn the heat up and let it go. So we'll just cover it and anxiously await. And you want to check on it every couple minutes to see how they're coming and if they're done. So you can kind of tell by the feel of the yolk, it still feels like it's really, really soft. And depending on what people like, but I'm gonna cook it a little bit more medium. So I took the pan off the heat, and now I'm going to serve these. And then you can just spoon additional sauce on top, and that'll keep cooking the eggs.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
I chopped up some parsley and cilantro. I thought that would be a nice complement to these flavors. And we have some just crumbled feta cheese right here. Give it a little creamy, salty note. And breakfast or brunch or lunch or dinner is served.
Oh, it looks fantastic. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Would you make it again?
Oh, I will make it lots of
Okay.
times. Living on a boat, you learn like different things to use that take up less space. And I have folding measuring cups or collapsing measuring cups and drains and bowls, and it helps
And
a
all
lot.
your pans that we used with this that are stackable. Yeah, you really have to think about space and
Yeah,
totally in a different way.
yeah. So it's quite the experience.
But you can still make amazing food with very little equipment. This is Britta from GalleyChix, and you too can make this fabulous dish by going online to GalleyChix.com, where we'll have all sorts of recipes and helpful hints to make cooking fun and delicious in your small space.